In the world of rhythm gaming, there is no franchise more fondly remembered and loved than Guitar Hero. Granted, not every game was a hit, but this franchise became a short-lived phenomenon that swept the mid to late 2000s, with a massive community even to this day. Last time we heard from this franchise was with the release of Guitar Hero Live in 2015, and we all know how that turned out. But I know many people like myself are hoping that through Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, we may get another true Guitar Hero sequel that doesn't completely mess things up. So in this video, I'm going to outline what I would do if I was given the chance to direct, design, and concept Guitar Hero 7. And we're going through all of it, from the concept of the story, to the graphic design, to the venues and full set list. Everything's going to be here, so let's not waste any more time, let's jump straight into it. One thing I need to stress is that I'm not a graphic designer or professional artist. The images you'll see going forward are going to be stock images from Google or terrible Photoshops. I wish I could provide better visuals, but we're just going to have to use our imaginations here. With that said, let's get into the story of the game's campaign. The year is 2500 AD. The world is in ruins thanks to the Demon King Lu. After Rock and Roll defeated him so many times in the past, he casts a powerful hex that silences any music instruments and mutes those who wish to sing. Without music to control their emotions, humanity has gone insane, and the world turned into a wasteland of misery. The God of Rock notices this madness, but unfortunately, the hex has affected him also. However, he finds a workaround. Since the hex only affected those who were alive, he chooses to resurrect the dead. Using all of his strength, he resurrects the Guitar Heroes of years past and sends them into the past, just before the hex was cast. It is up to Guitar Heroes and the accompanied band to inspire the world to rock on more than ever before, to put down Lu so he can't cast the hex. This journey will take our band around the world, and eventually into the pits of hell itself, where they will confront the demon overlord, Baphomet, and destroy the cursed spellbook forever. Now let's move into graphics and presentation. First order of business. Backgrounds are going to be in 60 frames per second. I don't know why, but in Guitar Hero 5 and Warriors of Rock, the backgrounds ran at about 24 to 30 frames per second, and that wasn't just dependent on the console, it was every version. Unlike Guitar Heroes 3, Warriors of Rock, and pretty much every other Guitar Hero before it, where the backgrounds ran at 60 frames per second. I'm sure that Guitar Hero 5 and Warriors of Rock were trying to go for like a live concert DVD type of feel, but let's be honest, Guitar Hero 3 and World Tour looked that much better with the increased frame rate. It really breathed a lot of life, made you feel like you were there and actually performing the songs. So, 60 frames per second, period, the end. And if you don't believe me about Guitar Hero 5, watch this video of Guitar Hero 5 running at 120 frames per second, and you'll see how much better it would have been with that increased frame rate. But I'll stop ranting about frame rates to move on to the art style, which is one of the trickiest things to pin down. Like I said, I'm not an artist, so I had to pull from multiple sources in order to find the appropriate style for another Guitar Hero game. What I'm looking for is not something super realistic. I want something cartoony, energetic, and stylish. I want something that harkens back to Guitar Hero 3, where the exaggerated characters and a sketchbook art style really took center stage. However, I know we're in a modern gaming world, which means those graphics would have to be cleaned up and have added physics to stuff like hair and clothing. My first instinct is to point at games like Overwatch and Fortnite. However, I think those art styles are a little too cartoony for their own good. However, there are two sources which I think would be a phenomenal fit if their art styles were combined. Street Fighter 6 and the Netflix TV show Arcane. Let's start with Street Fighter 6. As of recording, the trailer that you're seeing right now just dropped today, and I could not be more impressed with what they're going for. It really seems like they refined the art style they were going for in Street Fighter V to create something that is still semi-realistic, but still over the top, expressive, and colorful. Is it still a little more realistic than what I'm going for? Yes, it is. So that's why I'm pulling influence from Arcane. The reason Arcane looks so striking is first, those heavily detailed 3D models with the oil-painted textures over them that gives them an incredibly striking, colorful, unique look. Combine that with the 2D elements like fire, lightning, and wind, and this is a style that I think would work really well in a modern Guitar Hero game. Like, if the models in Arcane looked so good under natural lighting, imagine what we can do with stage lighting and how dramatic a pyrotechnic going off and that warm glow hitting their skin would look. But with that said, there's going to be a very important change to the layout of the stage. On top of the guitarist, bassist, singer, and drummer, we're going back to Guitar Hero Aerosmith and having a 5th member on stage. This 5th member can be either male or female depending on the vocal register of the song, and they'll be providing backup instrumentation for guitar, keyboards, whatever other instrument needs to be in the song, as well as providing backup vocals. I would love to do this as it would provide a level of realism and depth to the performances on screen that I think people would really enjoy. I personally enjoyed it in Guitar Hero Aerosmith. Just wait till we get to the setlist portion of this video, and you'll see that the extra member will be extremely beneficial. But what other characters are going to be on stage with you? Let's talk about the roster. One thing we are not going to do is having randomized characters like in Guitar Hero World Tour. We are going back to the basics. So in this game, you will not be creating an original character. Instead, you'll be picking from classic characters like Axel Steele, Casey Lynch, Judy Nails, Johnny Napalm, Lars Umlaut, etc. Of course, the celebrity appearances like Slash and Tom Morello are all going to go away. This is going to extend to the rest of the band, as the bassist, the drummer, and the singers you saw in Guitar Hero 3 would reappear, albeit with updated models and designs. One more difference is that we are actually going to have 2 male lead singers. The first one will be modeled after the singer from Guitar Hero 3, the other will be modeled after the singer from Guitar Hero 2. The singer from Guitar Hero 3 will take more low, growly, and gruff vocal registers, based on bands like Five Finger Death Punch or Slipknot, anybody in that ballpark. Meanwhile, the singer from Guitar Hero 2 will take on higher vocal registers, stuff from like Queen, for example. This will extend to the female lead singers, with the traditional singer from Guitar Hero 3 taking on more traditional rock and gruff/punk vocals. Then we're going to have another singer that focuses mainly on classical and operatic vocals because, spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of operatic and symphonic metal on the set list coming up. And to end off this section, let's talk about the highway layout. What is the game going to look like when you're actually playing it? I'm not even going to sugarcoat anything. I want to keep it the exact same as how Clone Hero has it. Maybe with a few tweaks to the design, but at the same time, the Clone Hero layout is so condensed and so perfect that I don't think we really need to change much in order to have a great layout that's easy to see all your information. Now, before we get to the set list, I want to talk about a promotional tool that will be used to generate hype for the set list and the game. Introducing Guitar Hero First. But what is Guitar Hero First? Guitar Hero First is a tag that's going to be applied to any artist that appears in Guitar Hero 7 that has never appeared in any Guitar Hero before. It's intended to appear in hype trailers revealing songs for the game. And with the Guitar Hero game not being released since 2015, it's going to show just how far music and the Guitar Hero series have come since that time. And not to spoil anything, but there are going to be a lot of firsts in Guitar Hero 7. But I'm tired of waiting. Let's finally dive in to the set list. In fact, we're going to knock out a bunch of stuff in one go. So we're going to highlight the set list organized by tiers, the venues they're in, as well as the encore scenarios for each venue. I will also be lumping in any celebrity appearances that I choose to throw in the venues because yes, we are bringing back celebrity cameos, hopefully with no lawsuits this time. Tier 1 is going to be called Swing of Things, full of beginner songs to get you warmed up and used to the mechanics. The venue will be a carnival, a fairground very similar to the venue that appeared in Guitar Hero World Tour, maybe not as rural. The song that will be kicking off the entire game is the song Everyone is Someone in LA by Felix the Housecat. A very simple chord-based song with some tapping mechanics. The next song is Beast by Nico Vega, which many of you may remember from the old Bioshock Infinite TV commercials. After that will be the song Black Sheep by Metric. You may know this as the song sung by Clash at Demon Head in the Scott Pilgrim movie. After that is the song Kiwi by Harry Styles, and before you say anything, the song actually goes hard. Give it a listen, give it a chance. After that is Coming Undone by Korn, a simple chord-based song that still is heavy, hard, and a headbanger. And for the encore, the last song you played rocked so hard that the animals have broken out of their cages and are now surrounding the stage, bellowing out their roars before you play your encore song, Ladies and Gentlemen by Saliva. This song is an explosive, high-energy rock anthem that isn't too hard for the end of the beginner set list. Tier 2 is called It's Not a Race. The songs are going to be a little more challenging, but nothing too difficult. The venue will be on a NASCAR-like racetrack with the stage in the middle of the field. The first song to start us off is the song Falling by Annette Olson. Annette Olson is the second lead singer of the band Nightwish, who is one of my personal favorites, so expect a lot of bias. The next song will be a classic, Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. After that will be the song Awake and Alive by Skillet, and I'm going to ignore the lead singer and whatever he says on Twitter next. The song still slaps. And it's here where we introduce our first celebrity cameo, Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. In my opinion, ZZ Top is one of the best classic rock bands to ever exist, and whether you like their blues rock era of the 70s or their cheesy Eliminator era of the 80s, there's something to love in the band, and I think they should be immortalized along with their beards. For his appearance, I'll be pulling from both eras of ZZ Top. Starting with the blues rock era, I'm going to be doing the song Tush. Now, the original Tush lasts around 2 minutes long, so this will actually be the Live in Germany 1980 version, which clocks in just over 3 minutes. And for their 80s era, we have to have legs in the game. I don't care if it's the original recording or the remix version, either one would be a great, fun addition. Now for the encore, in the background, a crash will occur between two stock cars, while a couple girls join you on stage, waving around some checkered flags. Sparks from the fire catch the flags. They ignite as the girls keep on twirling as you fire up one of the heaviest hitting songs from Guitar Hero TV. The song Hell Yeah by Rev Theory. Now, since Guitar Hero TV shut down, I don't feel guilty adding this song back into the Guitar Hero series, especially since the song itself is just fire. High energy, a heart-pounding kick in the butt that is very worthy of an encore performance. Tier 3, I'm going to call Shoot for the Stars. This is where we're going to see songs with more difficult rhythms and patterns. The venue will be the set of a vintage sci-fi movie. Kind of low budget and kind of vintage, where the asteroids are hanging from the ceiling by a string. The footage I'm showing you is from Saints Row the Third, from the Dances in Space blooper take, and that's a similar vibe that I want to go for with this venue. We're going to be kicking off this set with the song that I know many of you all are nostalgic for, 96 Quite Bitter Beings by CKY. Don't lie to me, many of you all know this song because of Tony Hawk. At least, that's where I know it from, but the song is still amazing either way. Song number 2 will get the party truly started with the song We Got the Moves by Electric Callboy. This band incorporates dance music and metalcore in a combination that absolutely rocks, and this is a song that's just a lot of pure fun. And to twist it up, both of the lead singers will be on stage due to there being a growler and a high-pitched singer. But the next song will take a complete tone shift with the song The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Slow and soulful in the beginning, but high energy at the end, it's one of my personal favorites. After that is the song Storm the Sorrow by Epica. Epica is probably number 2 in my all-time favorite bands, right behind Nightwish, and Storm the Sorrow is one of their more popular hits. After that is the song Soul Meets Body by Death Cab for Cutie. A really nice acoustic song with a lot of energy and punch. And for the encore, model starships will drop down from wires, firing lasers at each other, hitting the asteroids and producing clouds of colorful smoke, as we launch into a song that can only be a finale for a grand space opera, The Final Countdown by Europe. And am I taking a tiny bit of inspiration from the ending of Lego Rock Band? Maybe, possibly, but The Final Countdown is a song that deserves to be enjoyed. It has a kick-ass keyboard riff and a nice challenging solo at the end of it. Up next is Tier 4, which I'm calling Pray for the Wicked. These songs are going to start becoming more challenging with more interesting patterns and solos. The venue this time will be the inside of a cathedral. Pipe organ in the background, plenty of stained glass. We're going the more traditional route, and this will also tie into the encore song, but you'll just have to wait and see what that song is. Speaking of songs, the first one will be Maybe It's My Fault by Willow. As in Willow Smith. As in the I whip my hair back and forth Willow Smith. But don't judge based on that, because this song goes hard. Willow is great at creating a rock sound, and there's a lot of punkish energy in this song that I think would make for a great addition to the setlist. After that will be the song Dancing with the Dead by 10 Years. And I'm a little biased on this one because this band actually comes from the town that I live in, but it's still an amazing song either way. Next will be the song Black Velvet by Alana Miles. This is a more slow, sultry, southern type of song, but the solos I think would be very fun in a Guitar Hero game, and I'm surprised it actually hasn't made it into a game yet. And now it's time for our second celebrity cameo. This person is not only an amazing artist and activist, but he has become a meme in the Clone Hero community and has become more involved in video games as of late. This is Serj Tankian of System of a Down fame. The beauty of System of a Down songs is that some of them are goofy and some of them are super serious. So for these next 2 songs, I want to communicate both sides of System of a Down and give Serj Tankian's expressive performances a lot of time to shine. And I promise, no table memes. I'll keep the table memes within Clone Hero. So starting off with the goofy side of System of a Down, we're going to perform the song Vicinity of Obscenity, otherwise known as the Banana 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 Terracotta Pie song. This song has a lot of fun transitions from the heavier side of System of a Down to a more funk sound within the choruses, meaning that we're going to have a lot of fun. But Serj Tankian's writing can also be very serious. so we're going to move on to his solo career for the song Empty Walls. This song has a memorable guitar riff, multi-layered vocals, and is a memorable track from his solo album. And for the encore, a biblically accurate angel will burst through the stained glass, flying around the cathedral and scaring the crap out of the audience. Flames will erupt from the front row before we head into our encore song, Lift Me Up by Five Finger Death Punch. As you can probably tell now, the cathedral venue is referencing the album The Wrong Side of Heaven and the Righteous Side of Hell that this song comes from, and while I'm not normally a Five Finger Death Punch fan, this song still hits, especially with Rob Halford joining in. But with Rob Halford joining in this song, we are going to incorporate both of the male lead singers as well as the backup to have a little bit more of a stage dynamic. Now on to Tier 5, which I'm calling Set the World on Fire. This will take place in an open-air festival, a combination of the Bonnaroo Festival in Manchester, Tennessee, and the Burning Man Festival, which I think everyone knows at this point. Even though it's essentially a big open field with a stage in the middle, there's going to be a lot of scene decorations with various RVs, a large wooden statue of a guitar hero about to rock, and other decorations and audience members to spice up the level. Kicking off Tier 5 is a song that I believe is overdue for an appearance in this game, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart by Journey. And no, I'm not just picking this song because of Stranger Things. This song is amazing. Awesome guitar solos, awesome keyboard solos, and I think it would make a very fun chart overall. After that will be the song The Hangman's Body Count by Volbeat. I remember the song being a massive hit when it first came out. The sort of western shootout feel of the song combined with the heavier guitars that come in later on makes this song an incredible banger. Next, we have one of the best covers of all time, Land of Confusion by Disturbed. Originally by Genesis, Land of Confusion is a great song whether done by Genesis or Disturbed, but Disturbed's version is just that much better. After that, we're going to tone shift a little bit with the song She's Not There by Santana. Just like Black Magic Woman and Guitar Hero 3, this song is very unassuming until the end where the guitar solos just go absolutely crazy. Plus, I think having Latin percussion on stage and animated in Guitar Hero would be really fun to see. But that's just me. Now we're going to tone shift again to straight up battle metal with the song Bismarck by Sabaton. Now keep this song in mind because this was going to come back up later in this video. All you need to know about the song is that it's gruff, heavy, and will get you ready for pretty much anything. And for the encore, you remember the giant wooden figure of the Guitar Hero I mentioned? Well, some rabid fans will set that figure on fire. But here is the twist. The smoke from the fire will actually form a logo. A logo for the band Coheed and Cambria. But why? That's because we are leading into our next celebrity cameo. Claudio Sanchez, lead singer and rhythm guitarist of Coheed and Cambria. Not only is he a very talented musician and singer, but can you imagine that hair being animated in a modern video game engine? It would truly show how far Guitar Hero's graphics have come since Warriors of Rock. With that said, he's going to join you to perform the encore song, one you should be familiar with if you were around for Rock Band 1. Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria. Welcome Home is a diverse and epic track, and the dueling guitar solos in the middle of the song are going to feel even more amazing seeing your Guitar Hero and Sanchez duke it out on stage. On top of that, instead of a keyboard to create the symphonic elements, the backup singer will actually have an electric violin to create those string harmonies, which will create a more diverse stage presence for the backup singer that we can use later on. Now we get into the real challenging songs, with Tier 6, which I'm calling Impress the World. Starting in this tier, Playtime's Over. Now we're getting into the songs where if you haven't been playing Guitar Hero for a long time, you're going to start to really feel the pain. The venue for this tier will be Shibuya Crossing in Japan, a bustling intersection that has been featured in various video games and anime. This stage will be unique because the concert will actually start in the afternoon, and by the time we get to the encore, it'll be nighttime. And you can see the sun start to set as the campaign goes along. In a quick play mode, however, there will be a daytime and nighttime variation of the stage only. To kick us off is a song called Chimney by the Yellow Moon Band. This is a very bluesy, folky, southern rock type of song with a lot of energy to it. And while it's never appeared in a Guitar Hero or Rock Band game before, some of you may remember it from the first Rocksmith game. Now you know I love my tone shifts, so here comes another one. The next song is Convalescence by Darkest Hour. This song is a little personal to me because it's the song that got me into metalcore and death metal, and while it's still heavy and has the growling vocals, it's still melodic and catchy as hell. We've heard what they sound like with the song Demons in Guitar Hero 5, and this one is just as good, if not a bit better. Next will be the song Medusa by Anthrax. Do you remember Madhouse from Guitar Hero 2? This comes from the same album. In fact, it's a song that comes directly after Madhouse. If I had to pick one song from this setlist to be the quote-unquote headbanger, it would be this one. Next up is the song Valentine by Zandria. Zandria is one of those bands that you kind of discover by accident as they're often left in the background, but if you're a fan of symphonic metal, you owe it to yourself to check out this album, and Valentine is one of the hardest hitters on that album. And right before Shibuya turns to night, we're going to have the song Unbreakable by Stradivarius. After how successful Dragon Force was in Guitar Hero 3 and the way it returned in Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, I'm surprised more power metal wasn't incorporated into the set lists. So I'm using this opportunity to get more power metal bands to shine, and Stradivarius definitely belongs on that list. And as mentioned before, for the encore, Shibuya will turn to night and the lights on the buildings will all illuminate. Afterwards, fireworks will erupt behind the crossing, shaped like chibi versions of the band members, including the Guitar Hero you're currently playing as. On top of that, a shower of cherry blossoms will rain down on the stage. However, that will stop in the middle of the song, and if you know the song I'm talking about, you'll understand what part I'm referring to. For the encore song, this will be the song Innuendo by Queen. This song is diverse, epic, and an explosion of emotion. But what sets this song apart is in the middle of the song, there's a flamenco-style guitar solo. It's not often we see flamenco guitar implemented in any other music game, and just imagine a spotlight coming down on the Guitar Hero as they shred away. Plus, to assist in the breakdown, the backup singer will be going from keyboard to backup acoustic guitar and back to keyboard. Again, lots of stage presence and lots of diversity make this a great encore track. I just want to take a small break to remind everybody to subscribe to the channel. Every like, every sub helps me out a lot. I also have a Twitter and Twitch channel if you'd like to follow me on those socials. They're the best way to keep updated with my content. Those links will be in the description of this video. Anyway, let's jump back in. Now for Tier 7, which I'm calling a new precedent. If your fingers aren't hurting by now, they definitely will by the time you get through this set list. The venue for this tier will be a hybrid of a traditional concert hall, complete with the velvet curtains and the theater-like stage, combined with an outdoor amphitheater with that elevated seating. We're looking for a venue that's elegant and sophisticated, but with plenty of room to show just how much your band has been growing. Kicking off this set list is a hard hitter, the song Hell Above by Pierce the Veil. This comes from the same album as the song King for a Day, which appeared on disc in Guitar Hero Live. Hell Above has some great dynamic rhythms, a solid breakdown near the end, and lots of good drum and bass lines to keep things interesting. The next song is Nothing Left by As I Lay Dying. This melodic death metal track has a catchy hook, a blasting drum beat, and a great breakdown. Especially if there was an extra audio track of the crowd chanting along to the final verse of the song, I think it would be a great way to end the performance. Next up is the song The Blade by Scion. For those who don't know, this is a collaboration between guitar-based YouTuber Jared Dines and former lead singer of Killswitch Engage, Howard Jones. The only proper way to describe this song is heavy. The song also has a lot of points where it slows down to give a great effect and allow for a lot of headbanging. If you haven't listened to the song yet, check it out. It's a good one. Up next is the song Hearts Burst Into Fire by Bullet for My Valentine. Remember Scream Aim Fire from Guitar Hero World Tour? Or maybe Waking the Demon from Rock Band 2 DLC? This song is from the same album. This is one of Bullet's more heartfelt songs, but that doesn't mean it can't have catchy riffs or go heavy when it needs to. After that is a song called The Subtle Arts of Murder and Persuasion by Lamb of God. Many of you all are used to Lamb of God thanks to the song Laid to Rest, but what if I told you this was a progressive death metal song with a lot of tempo changes and odd time signatures? I discovered this song a long time ago, and I personally believe it deserves to be in this set list. Now for the encore, we're going to open up the pit! The orchestra pit, in fact. A set of doors on the floor in front of the stage will open up, revealing a full orchestra and a conductor. The conductor will tap their stick on their music stand to ready the orchestra to play our Tier 7 encore song, A Last Illusion by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A lot of people know Trans-Siberian Orchestra for their Christmas music, but their normal music is pretty good too. This song is a sort of cover of the classical music track Flight of the Bumblebee, with lots of alt strumming and weird chord progressions to keep you on your toes. Halfway through, the song does slow down, and after a quick piano solo, if you can call it that, the stage will transform. Two wings will open up, revealing a men's choir, robes and everything. They're going to help you with the final part of the song, where a choir chants in Latin and ends off by holding big sustained notes for an epic finish. We are almost there. We're moving on to Tier 8, which I'm calling Turn Back Now. This is the second to last tier before you finally face the boss. If you can't pass this tier, then you have absolutely no chance in facing Lou in the final battle. The venue will be a Viking Hall. This will take place just outside the actual building, with a stage built into the rocks with water overlooking the back. There will also be a blue tint to this level because I just want this level to feel cold. I want this to be during the winter time. The first song to be played in this fantasy-inspired venue is a distinctly not fantasy song, Wynona's Big Brown Beaver by Primus. Primus have been a staple in the Guitar Hero and the Rock Band scene, and this is one of the songs that hasn't appeared in any of those games yet. Even though this song has solos for days, there is a big focus on the bass guitar, but when the guitar gets going, it sounds amazing. Up next is a classic, Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden. Fun fact, this song is actually the longest song in the on-disc setlist, clocking in at 7 minutes and 18 seconds. But it's worth it for a song that gives you chills in the intro, then quickens up its pace as it goes on with a killer solo near the middle. I believe there was a live version of this song available as downloadable content for Rock Band, but we've never gotten the studio version in the game. Next, we get to include my favorite band and the basis for all my personal bias on the set list. The song Weak Fantasy by Nightwish. In my opinion, this is the best song from when Floor Jansen took over lead singing duties. Just like with the song Innuendo, This song implements flamenco-style guitar into the traditional metal, and because of how complex the track is, we're including both singers, each of them with their own keyboard. And trust me, there are better Nightwish songs from their older catalog from when Tarja Turunen was still in the band, but I don't know if that's going to be legally possible, which sucks. Because yes, it's available on streaming, but streaming and Guitar Hero are two different beasts, as we have learned way back in the day. The only downloadable Nightwish song that we got was Amaranth from their Annette Olsen era, which is fine, Annette Olsen was fine, but Amaranth is definitely not their best work. The Flora Janssen era was fantastic, but at the same time, I wish we could get some old Tarja Turunen-led songs in the game, because that was Nightwish's true identity, right? So when
one eternity later.
And that's why Nightwish has the best version of Phantom of the Opera. Alright, fanboying over. I swear. Weak fantasy, good song. We're including it. Next, we're going to keep the symphonic metal going with the song Circus Black by Emberian Dawn. While symphonic metal didn't get a lot of representation back during Guitar Hero's peak, Emberian Dawn was providing us with a lot of great songs on the Rock Band network, including this song, and I feel like their legacy should carry on through this setlist. And just like with Weak Fantasy, because of how complicated the track is, both of the lead singers will show up, this time one with a guitar, the other with a keyboard. And up next is the song Hall of the Mountain King by Sabotage. To my knowledge, Sabotage has not appeared in any music game during the peak or afterward, although this song did appear on the soundtrack for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 game Brutal Legend. If you remember that, you are awesome. But I digress. This song has a lot of energy and a lot of personality. It's a heavy hitter, it's a headbanger, it is everything we are looking for the last song before our encore for this stage. Speaking of which, for the encore, your last song rocked so hard that on a distant mountaintop, a lone wolf hears your guitar. He howls, summoning the rest of his pack down the hill and to the stage. They position themselves in front of the Viking Hall building, all along the stage, climbing the rocks in the back, and before you perform, they all let out a big howl as you reveal the final encore song, Full Moon by Sonata Arctica. Now there are two versions of this song. The first is the original, and then the second is the 15th anniversary re-recording. And the latter is what we're going to use for this setlist. To me, it just sounds better. The chugging during the verses creates a nice headbanging feel with lots of energy, the keyboard elements in the back add a lot of depth to the song, and Sonata Arctica have been around for a while, so they definitely deserve some acknowledgement in a Guitar Hero setlist. Alright, now you've done it. You finally got the attention of Lou and the rest of the residents of the underworld where he resides. While you're still on stage at the venue from Tier 8, the floor starts to crack open, revealing hell. Your band is forced to fall in, but miraculously, when y'all hit the bottom, everyone is okay. Welcome to Tier 9, the Gauntlet. This tier will be a series of boss battles meant to challenge everything you have learned up to this point. After all, to prevent the hex from being cast, it all depends on you and your ability to stop Lou. But first, you're going to have to get through a series of quote-unquote boss battles against various abominations from the underworld. The first battle will be against the Gatekeepers, two guards wearing the same armor that protect the entrance to Hell. Each battle will take place in a circular arena where spiky rocks at the edge of the stage will prevent you from escaping, only allowing you to advance forward through the gates. Think about the Doviculus level from Brutal Legend, and again, if you remember Brutal Legend, you're the realist. To take on the Gatekeepers, we'll be playing the song Rebel Love Song by Black Veil Brides. Don't be thrown off by the fact that it's skinny guys in makeup.
This song is fast-paced, energetic, and the solo is actually a lot more difficult than it initially lets on. If you don't believe me, it's available on Clone Hero as Rock Band 2 DLC. You pass through the gates, and it's on to the second battle, versus the Machination. Taking the cue from Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, this is a massive living machine. Part of it is attached to the wall, other parts are living. Arms will fly out and try to attack your band, sparks will fly, and you're going to have to put up a fight in order to get past this machine. The song you'll use to take it down is Entombment of a Machine by Job for a Cowboy. This song is pure death metal, but still melodic enough to keep things interesting. This song is also going to be fun in terms of stage presence, because there's a low growler and a high growler. The lead singer and the backup singer are going to have a lot of interesting angles and interactions to make the song fully complete. Once defeated, the machine explodes, opening the ground to the next fight, versus the Mammalian. The best example I could give is this boss from the Shadow of Colossus game. Just imagine it with a lot more hellish features. Again, I'm not an artist, and I couldn't get any kind of AI software to depict what I really wanted. This creature is worked up. It's stomping, it's roaring, it's about to charge at your band. But your backup singer pulls out a keyboard and attempts to calm it down with the pan flute intro of your next song, Gates of Babylon by Rainbow. This is the band that Ronnie James Dio was a part of before he went solo. This song has amazing guitar work, and the entire middle is just one big solo. Combined with catchy verses and choruses, this song is the entire package, bringing some classic rock to this finale. If you're successful in playing the song, a cutscene will play out where a band member rides the Mammalian into a wall, opening a hole and causing the creature to pass out. But you're not done with the mythical animals just yet, because we're moving on to the next battle against the Hydra. The band assumes this will be an easy battle. Your guitarist takes the star power, grabs a stalactite, and beheads the first Hydra head. But as you all probably know, when you take off one head, two more respawn. Angered, the Hydra lunges at your guitar hero and knocks him backward, incapacitating them. Your band starts to freak out as the cutscene plays out, until the spirit of a celebrity cameo comes in to save the day. You heard me right. This battle will feature a celebrity cameo from someone who is not only an incredibly talented and funny guitarist, but one who's part of a band that Guitar Hero helped put on the map. Welcome to the stage, Herman Lee of Dragon Force. Seriously, have you ever seen his Twitch channel? He's hilarious. But I digress. Herman Lee will actually not be singing for this portion, he'll just be playing the guitar, taking the place of your Guitar Hero. The next song features a heavy guitar section with fast and heavy drums. It's a quick section that dies down into a quiet part, where ambient drums take over. During this portion, you'll be receiving some extra aid. 3 petite bodies start to materialize in front of you. Before the song kicks back into full gear, you realize that you're being aided by the spirits of 3 kawaii Japanese girls. That's right, you're playing a baby metal song. Baby metal is an iconic band that I think introduced Japanese metal to a lot of American metalheads. And while these girls have grown up, I think it would be fun to immortalize them from their age where they were at their peak. And the song we would use to immortalize them is their only collaboration with Dragon Force, Road of Resistance. This song is difficult, but honestly, not the most difficult baby metal song that I've ever played. It still has plenty of the Dragon Force tenets like fast alt strumming and tremolo picking, but at the same time, there are plenty of breaks for you to just absorb the music and play a sustained chord. It's an epic track that will for sure take down that Hydra. And it worked. You got up on the Hydra's back, gave it a good stab, and finally defeated it. The spirits of Herman and the Baby Metal Girls fade away as you're knocked through the floor. As the band recoups from the fall, they see that your Guitar Hero has come to and they're ready for another battle. The band looks ahead and sees Lou, and they're ready to take him down. Except, he's covered by a barrier. Next to him, a shaman can be seen casting the protective barrier over him, preventing the band from attacking Lou. So logically, the band goes after the shaman, using the song From Lin by Protest the Hero. Now, funny enough, this is not the first time that this song has appeared in a Guitar Hero game, as it appeared in the Guitar Hero mobile game, if you remember that. The other two free songs in that game, Savior and Seven Nation Army, were both included on disc for Guitar Hero, so why not this song? This is a fun, fast, progressive metal track, with various sections involving a sound similar to an 8-bit keyboard. For the sake of simplicity though, when that's activated, we're going to assume that it's a specialty pedal or something for the guitar. But I digress. Protest the Hero is an amazing band, and this song is a fun but challenging entry to finish off Lou. So now you've done it. The shaman is defeated, Lou is unprotected, and you have him cornered. No other threat can stop you from ending it right now. Except, the venue around you starts to shake. Pillars fall over and stalactites start to fall. The walls around your stage come down and reveal a giant entity that Lou works for. The legendary Baphomet. This would not be the traditional Baphomet design, except it would be redesigned to fit in with Guitar Hero 7's aesthetic and make it even more terrifying than it already is. This is your encore for the stage. This is your final song. If you can beat this song, you will defeat Baphomet and stop Lou from casting the Hex. We need a powerful song that challenges every instrument: guitar, drums, bass, even vocals. Everyone who's not part of the default band will be in the background with the guitar, generating that star power to bring down Baphomet. This includes both of the female lead singers, the female backup singer, and the spirits of the guitarists that worked with you on your journey. Billy Gibbons, Claudio Sanchez, Herman Lee, they're all coming back to play your final song of the campaign, Machine Gun Eddie by Nitro. This is a powerhouse speed metal song. Tremolo picking, sweeps, tempo changes, they are all here. Jim Gillette is an incredible singer, but I think his vocal range exceeds what our two Guitar Hero lead singers are capable of, so both of them will be present. One to take those squealing high notes, the other to do the low growls featured in the verses and chorus. This is a song that will require the most patience for you to even attain 5 stars, never mind the full combo. It's the perfect, memorable way to cap off this campaign. Congratulations, you've taken down Baphomet and Lou and stopped the Hex from occurring. Your campaign and all your on-disc songs are finished. Or are they? Because there is one more song to unlock. This song will unlock the true ending for the game. Because yes, Baphomet was defeated and Lou was held off, but Lou is still alive, and there's another entity that he works for. To unlock this final song, you will need to 5-star every on-disc song, including bonus songs. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. On expert difficulty. I almost had this locked behind a full game FC, but I'm not that mean. I wanted everyone to have at least a fighting chance of unlocking this final song. A song so difficult that it cramps the hands of any player who tries to face it head on. This song has never been beaten by anybody. It is said that only the mythic gods of the Clone Hero and Guitar Hero professional ranks can even stand a chance at finishing this song. And this song is... I wouldn't do that to you guys. I'm a lot meaner than that. Which is why the actual final song is The Violation by Flesh God Apocalypse. A death metal band that prides itself on speed. As a drummer myself, hearing this song makes me lock up in various cramps just thinking about how fast that drummer is going. The guitar work is no different. This song is brutal, and you're going to need a lot of stamina in order to achieve that coveted full combo, which will obtain you the final achievement in the game and the full game FC. While playing this song, you'll be facing a cosmic entity, similar in appearance and nature to Cthulhu, but again, redesigned for Guitar Hero 7. If you can defeat this entity, Lou will be trapped away forever inside a magical guitar pick. It acts like a genie's lamp, only being able to be summoned if a player uses the pick.
Did I also mention there are bonus songs?
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Okay, I will not take long on this part, I promise. In fact, I will take less than 5 seconds per song, because I know we've been here a while. So let me go ahead and jump into it. The first song is Advent One-Winged Angel by Nobuo Uematsu. This is the version of One-Winged Angel from Final Fantasy Advent Children. Beyond My Control by Meet Me at the Altar, an up-and-coming pop-punk band. The Bone Zone by Vard Skeletor. This song came up while I was listening to Trogdor on Apple Music. Born Depressed by Drill Queen. If you've ever watched Jim Sterling or Stephanie Sterling's videos, this is their long-running theme song. Canto alla Vita Live by Josh Groban. This is a personal bias, but there's a killer synthesizer solo and drum solo in there. Carry On by Avenged Sevenfold. Written exclusively for Black Ops 2, I'm not sure why it wasn't DLC in the first place. Centipede by Knife Party. This was in Guitar Hero TV, and it was one of the hardest EDM/dubstep songs to be in the game. Godzilla featuring Serge Tankian by Bear McCreary. This was featured in the film Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it is an amazing cover of the Blue Oyster Cult song that appeared in Guitar Hero 1. The Greatest Show on Earth by Creature Feature. Nothing like some good old-fashioned horror rock. Gurren no Yumiya by Linked Horizon. One of the original Attack on Titan OPs, and in my opinion, the best one. I Burn featuring Casey Lee Williams by Jeff Williams. Easily one of the best songs from the Ruby soundtrack. I Will Build You a Rome by Kane's Offering, a supergroup formed by former members of Sonata Arctica and Stratovarius. Life Will Change by the Atlas Sound Team and Lin from Persona 5. Mortal Reminder by Pentakill, a League of Legends inspired metal band. My Heart Will Go On by Dragon Force, and yes, this is a cover of the exact song you're thinking of. Private Idaho by the B-52s. I wanted it in the original setlist but couldn't find a good spot for it. Rock and Roll McDonald's by Wesley Willis. This is the obligatory super silly song, just like Trogdor in Guitar Hero 2. Sick of It All by Magnolia Park, another up-and-coming pop-punk band. Sweet Victory by David Glenn Isley and Bob Kulick. This is from the infamous Band Geeks episode of SpongeBob, and there is a full version, so that's why it's here. Vivaldi's Winter by Dark Moor, a symphonic metal cover of one of my favorite classical music pieces. Witchcraft by Pendulum, a band that has been featured in so many mashups and memes featured in Clone Hero that it's hard to not put them in the game. And finally, The World Is Mine by Supercell.
Is this an internal dialogue? I can't see the end of the horizon. Hatsune Miku! Is that you?
And just like that, we are all done talking about the songs. Now it's time to talk about mechanics and gameplay. Remember when I said I wouldn't change the highway layout from what we see in Clone Hero? Well, that goes for the mechanics too. Let's make something abundantly clear. The 6-fret layout from Guitar Hero Live will not return. Instead, we're going back to the traditional 5-fret layout with the green, red, yellow, blue, and orange buttons. Additionally, the guitar charts will include the purple open note. This note was introduced in Guitar Hero World Tour for bass guitar as a way to sort of spice up those charts. But Clone Hero charters have done the same thing for the guitar charts, and it works really well. Star Power will also return, keeping its rewards and effects from previous Guitar Hero games, including being able to gain more Star Power while you've activated Star Power mode. Additionally, I'd love to have the live leaderboards that were featured in Guitar Hero TV and are featured in the Score Spy build of Clone Hero. This would be during the quick play mode only, as I feel this would be too distracting and irrelevant during the campaign. This live score tracker shows where you are on the online leaderboard to add a bit of competitive edge to your gameplay. Finally, I love what Clone Hero does with the FC tracker. If you're in the middle of a full combo, a ring will appear around your multiplier and will disappear if you miss a note or overstrum. But if you hit the FC, I would love to see some kind of big celebration, whether it's FC splashed across the screen, a special animation, or maybe both. Just a bit of a fun touch. But one thing I have to emphasize is that we are keeping things simple. We're not going to have any special challenges like in Guitar Hero 5, and absolutely no monster powers from Warriors of Rock. If we're going to bring back the 5-fret guitar game after nearly 13 years, it's smart to stick to the basics and get everyone's muscle memory back to where it was back then. Another big difference is that accessibility options are not going to be locked behind cheat codes. Instead, from your main menu, you'll be able to change stuff like the color of your individual gems and star power, your highway speed, your highway opacity, and your calibration settings seamlessly. This is meant to keep you out of menus and in your game. And even if you don't need those features for accessibility reasons, being able to customize your highway to your preferences is always nice. But I know the question on everyone's mind. What will the guitar controller look like? There have been a lot of legendary guitars used for the controllers of the Guitar Hero series. Gibson SGs, Explorers, and Les Pauls, Fender Stratocasters 3 times over, and whatever the Warriors of Rock controller was. So for Guitar Hero 7, I propose that the guitar controller be modeled after a classic, beloved guitar. The BC Rich Warlock. Ew! I'm just kidding, I wouldn't do that to you guys. No, instead, we're gonna give the spotlight to another legendary Fender guitar, the Telecaster. Being used as a staple guitar of the Rolling Stones' Keith Richards as well as Bruce Springsteen, this guitar is known for its slightly twangy tone, and from what I hear, is particularly comfortable to play sitting down, which makes it great for those professional Clone Hero players who prefer sitting to standing. I also like this particular finish on this guitar, as not only does it match the black and gold theme that I have going through the game, but we've also never had a yellow guitar controller before, making this stand out in a sea of used plastic instruments. But here's the catch with the guitar controller. Although I'm planning for this game to be multi-platform, the guitar controller will be universally compatible between all consoles. Using a wireless USB dongle similar to the Guitar Hero Live controller, you'll be able to use it with any console that has a USB port, including the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and most importantly, PC. This way, you can use the guitar controller to either play Guitar Hero 5, Clone Hero, or use it for any achievement-related purposes, like, I don't know, beating Elden Ring with the guitar controller. Alright, I think I've covered basically everything, so let's move on to some other minor details. First, let's imagine what the reveal trailer could look like. I imagine this being the one last announcement trailer at Microsoft's E3 conference. That is, if the Activision-Microsoft merger goes through. The trailer would open up with us looking over a rainy ocean waves as the choral intro of the song Beesmarked by Sabaton starts to play. The Activision logo splashes across the screen. When the guitar kicks in, a modern battleship breaches a wave and crashes down on the water. The intention here is to introduce a sort of fake-out moment, leading the audience to believe that they're going to announce naval combat in Call of Duty Warzone. During the first verse, the band waltz forward in shadow, focusing mainly on their feet and one close-up of the lead singer's mouth. As the chorus begins, we see a burly figure holding an axe toward the sky. Lightning strikes, and the figure is revealed to be Lars Umlaut holding a Guitar Hero controller, 5-button layout and all. The band is revealed. We show a bit of the highway in the UI, then it ends with the Guitar Hero 7 logo, then a flash to the Guitar Hero 1st logo, with Sabaton's logo crashing in afterwards. And finally, here's a mock-up of the box art for the PlayStation 5 version of the game. While I understand that Microsoft and Activision are going to be merging very soon, they've made it clear that they still want certain games to be multi-platform, and I think they will want Guitar Hero to be one of those games. Back in the day, it was way too popular. They wouldn't have hired a separate studio to make a downscaled version for the Wii and PlayStation 2 of the next-gen games if it wasn't that popular. And that is how I would design Guitar Hero 7. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. How would you design Guitar Hero 7 if you were given the chance? Leave your comments down below, let's have an awesome discussion about it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed my content, and please follow me on my social media channels. My Twitter is the best place to keep up with all my updates about my content. I'm also trying to periodically stream on Twitch. I also post regularly to my TikTok if you would like to follow me on there. Hopefully with this Microsoft Activision merger, we get an awesome Guitar Hero game in the future, and I will definitely be keeping y'all updated whenever that happens. Have an awesome day, and thank you guys again for watching.